this is part 59 of Ocarina of Time 3D, and this part we're going through the first part of the Shao Temple. Once again, lots of parts.
Lots of parts.
In that first part,
we just said we're going to work on
that. First part of the narration. But right here, like I said, first part of the Shao Temple. A very interesting dungeon on how people feel about it. Like I know me and you were not big fans of it, kind of like the darker, more spooky dungeon.
Yeah.
And I've never been fans of the Mario levels either like that, so I'm kind of meh on it.
Well, I feel like even though we've done our rankings again here recently for the 3D version, we don't have the video up just yet.
We're getting there.
But I feel like I enjoy this game or this dungeon more and more every time I play it, even though it hasn't really moved up my rankings. I think for some reason, for me, just that dark, creepy feeling, and you get like these blades and guillotines and everything. It's appealed to me more and more because it's uncommon.
You need it in the game. It's something different within the game, and I guess I respect this place.
Yeah.
For that, I respect it for what it is. It's a good change of pace.
I'm glad they did something
in
different.
The game. Just like like I said, more spooky, more scary. Just not that the dungeon scares me, but I'm just talking about the darker tone of the dungeon.
That's a great word.
I just don't really care for it that much.
Like I said, for me, it's just, and if you've listened to any of our rankings or things like that, dull-colored dungeons are never
or darker,
like
House of Twilight. There's another one,
Earth Temple.
Yeah, yes, the Earth Temple also.
But yeah, those have never really appealed to us that much. But this one, I think they put enough. Like I said, just something like whether it's like these blades and guillotines and all this stuff that at least keeps it from being totally boring.
Now, one thing I don't like, well, first of all, the dead hand right here is a mini boss. I just wish we got something new. Like
me too.
I think it's been a great dungeon to put something new in there. Like, okay,
it would have been.
You got this dungeon that's different, really. I mean, every dungeon's different within itself.
Yeah.
But this one really feels different. So, a different mini boss has been a good addition. Not the same one we just fought.
And I think the only thing that's different about this is the circle of hands is tighter.
It is.
So, like you saw there, you got grabbed by two of them at the same time.
I think there was four maybe in the last in the bottom of the world.
And they were spread out a little.
I think there was four, and then like you said, here we have six. But just I mean, so what?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you had so much potential, and so this is disappointing. But what I was going to say before we got into this room, I don't like this dungeon also because I feel it's very linear. Like,
it is.
You really can't get. I don't think you get really stuck in this dungeon at all. Like,
not really.
You pretty much just progress through it pretty easily, which is pretty shocking this late in the game.
Well, especially, I think part of that is coming straight from the Water Temple, which is the exact opposite of linear. Even when you know the right route through the Water Temple, you still backtrack so much. So coming from that to this dungeon where there's not much backtracking, it is two very,
the programmers and developers knew that. Like, they knew that the Water Temple was going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
When the developers are getting lost in it.
Yeah.
The people who designed it are getting lost in it. So, I wonder if that had anything to do with it or not, because actually the dungeon after this, when we kind of talked about it, like, that's also, in our opinion, is very linear.
It is. So I feel like the Water Temple was like that puzzle. Once you get past that, it's like we're gonna go a little easier on you. Now the dungeon item we just got though, you and I agree.
I was talking right past it.
Okay,
I didn't even see us get it.
Oh, because we've never talked past what we're doing.
Yes, exactly.
But you and I agree 100% on this. Like, it's an interesting concept, the hover boots. It's a fun idea, but it just feels so unnecessary.
And it doesn't really fit the dungeon. Like,
it
okay,
really
get these boots that like allow you to float over air for a little while. Well, how does that exactly go with the dungeon?
Yeah.
It's a very cool item, I think.
I think so too.
To me, the item seemed pointless in the game.
It does, and we only use it a little bit in this dungeon itself.
And then we use it outside the dungeon a couple times, but just, once again, wasn't a fan of the mini-boss.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a fan of the dungeon item, and not to be complaining too much, it's still a great game overall.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, it is funny, though, because, like, this whole first part, we actually get the map, the dungeon item, the compass.
Yes,
I feel like we load up.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. In this first part, we get the map, the hover boots, and the compass.
I liked going through that doorway though. Like the tongue was the platform you land on. So there's, as we mentioned, the new 3D updates and everything. They did a good job of getting some stuff added.
We kind of talked about this in Bottom of the Well with the walls being more detailed. Now this dungeon, like I said, I don't think it got the best visual upgrades, but it was really high up there. And one thing I like kind of noticed was all the skulls and the bones there, like that make up the floor and the walls. I just love that detail they were able to do in the 3D remake.
Me too. Speaking of the look of this place, when I first got in here and saw some of these opening rooms, I thought that it was going to look way too much like the Bottom of the Well. Like there wouldn't be enough difference. Like, because this room looks like it could be at the bottom of the well.
Yeah,
I feel like as
we're talking about the first back area, but like where we had the walls and the hidden hidden walls
and everything. Yeah, exactly.
I was talking about more the design. I was trying to say the design of the wall was very similar to Bottom of the Well.
Yeah, and it just, to me, I was like,
that's the first time something's never came to me during our commentary.
we've never studied over anything. But like, I was worried that the visual was just going to be so similar to the Bottom of the Well, and I'm glad that as we get deeper into the dungeon, like you see with this room right here, they really start differentiating. Like it starts standing out a lot more.
That blade fits so well with this dungeon, and then the statue that's kind of oh, I knew it was coming.
Link about lost his head,
but the statue like that, I can't really remember what the N64 one looked like.
I'm not
but
sure
that
either.
statue, and like it's got to be redesigned somehow. That statue looks awesome. Let's turn those blades.
Oh, it's just such a cool visual too. It looks like
that's the scary part of the dungeon. Yes. Right? I mean, if there's a blade like that coming at me, I'm gonna be crapping my pants.
Exactly. You got a few close calls too. I don't think you ever actually get hit by it. You have 2 or 3 really close calls throughout this dungeon.
You can actually use your shield right there too.
Because you crouch down.
Yeah, you crouch down, so you can use it right there too.
Your roll.
Real life. I would just I would get on my stomach. I would not chance it with just bending over like Link does.
It is not worth it.
But once again, he has the Triforce of Courage.
Hey, he's more courageous than we are.
He's probably got a little bit more balls than I do, to be honest with you.
I say so. I mean, I wouldn't be fighting all these undead enemies and stuff. I'd be hiding.
As soon as I walked into this place and saw like a good 6-foot gap between, like just like a pit of darkness, I'd be like, nope,
I'm out.
Not for me.
You win, Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Now, what are we doing now?
I hate this room right here, man.
It's tedious.
Just all it is these Skulltulas, what do they call it, wall Skulltulas or something like that? Like, this is one of those things I don't like stopping when I get, like, running or flowing.
Exactly.
And then, like, and let's be honest, the first time playing this game,
I ran into
if that didn't hit you, then I don't believe you.
Exactly.
I don't believe you. I think everybody ran into that their first time playing this game.
Plus, I feel like the spiders don't really fit. And I guess they do have a skull right there on them. But I keep thinking every other enemy in this dungeon is like undead. You get the re-deads everywhere. You get the Stalfos coming up, which is kind of random, I thought. But just the spiders seem like, the Skulltulas rather, just seem a little out of place. Plus, they're enemies we've seen since.
That's another thing. This dungeon, and I think we get some newer enemies later on, like in the next dungeon.
Yeah.
But this dungeon had no new enemies. I wish they kind of introduced some spooky characters that we had not, or enemies that we had not seen in the game. Man, we just didn't get it. But I do love this huge room right here.
Yes.
Always loved it. I guess. Going through the dungeon, you just didn't expect to walk into a room like this. And then also the addition of the guillotines.
Oh my gosh.
Those are perfect for this dungeon.
They really are. It just adds to that creepy feeling that just, along with the blades and the spikes we'll see later on, it makes it feel like this place was like not a prison necessarily, but like a torture place. And
that's what I've always kind of thought of it as a torture place, or like, where executions and stuff like that happen. So.
And that's what's funny. We saw one of the walls that talked to us earlier, which, by the way, got annoying real quick.
It really did.
But thankfully, we're away from those.
That's some good, not pointers, but just good information.
Yeah.
I guess, but like
good lore.
When it stops you that many times in a row, it does get kind of annoying.
But I loved the one that said like something like, "Here lies Hyrule's bloody history of like greed and hatred." Just hearing that, you're like, man, this place is one dark place.
Yes, it really is. Now that like right there, you saw I hit it like 2 or 3 times with the arrow, and it didn't hurt it. I had no idea to this day. Like, I thought it was the blade, but then I was like, there's no way the blade was, like, I shot 3 times in a row. there's no way the blade blocked it 3 times in a row like that.
The only thing I could think of is like sometimes if you hit the like with your sword too, I feel like it doesn't do damage. When you aimed higher and hit very near the top of it, it actually did damage.
That could be true too.
That's all I could think of.
I don't know.
I didn't know why your first 2 or 3 shots didn't hurt him either.
This room's horrible for like low patience because like I know I didn't equip the lens of truth to see if there's a blade right there. I was like, oh sweet, a big old huge open room finally.
What keeps hitting
Just go run through the middle like what in the world is going on? What's here?
Because patience, of course, is our strong suit. It's not the only invisible trap that you can.
Oh, there's nothing here. We can run right through this place. But anyways, this will go ahead and wrap up part 59 of Ocarina of Time 3D.